Hello everyone, welcome to today's lecture on scientific management. In this session, we will explore one of the most important management theories developed by Frederick Winslow Taylor. This concept completely transformed how organizations approach work, productivity, and efficiency. Before Taylor, most work in factories was done using guesswork or traditional habits. There was no clear method to determine what was the best way to perform a task. Scientific management introduced a structured and analytical way of working, where every task is studied, measured, and improved using scientific techniques. In this lecture, we will understand who Taylor was, why this theory was needed, its key principles, techniques, advantages, and limitations. I'll also explain real life examples so that you can easily connect theory with practice. Scientific management is a theory developed by Frederick Winslow Taylor in 1911. It focuses on improving work efficiency by applying scientific methods instead of traditional guesswork. Earlier, workers followed rule of thumb methods, meaning they relied on experience rather than analysis. Taylor introduced the idea of finding the one best way to perform a task. This involves studying the task, measuring time, and eliminating unnecessary steps. For example, if two workers perform the same job differently, scientific management identifies which method is faster and more efficient. This helps reduce wastage of time, effort, and resources while increasing productivity. Frederick Winslow Taylor is known as the father of scientific management. He was a mechanical engineer who worked in factories and closely observed how workers performed tasks. He noticed inefficiencies and a behavior called soldiering, where workers deliberately slowed down their work. Taylor believed this happened due to lack of proper systems and incentives. To solve this, he conducted experiments like time and motion studies to identify the most efficient way of working. His work led to the development of systematic and standardized work methods. Before scientific management, industries faced several major problems. Productivity was low because there were no standard methods for performing tasks. Workers used their own techniques, which often led to inefficiency and inconsistency. There was also a lot of wastage of time, effort, and resources due to poor planning. Another issue was lack of coordination between workers and management, which created conflicts. Taylor introduced scientific management to bring structure, efficiency, and better utilization of resources. Taylor proposed four main principles of scientific management. The first is using science instead of rule of thumb methods. The second is promoting harmony between workers and management instead of conflict. The third is encouraging cooperation rather than individualism. The fourth is developing each worker to their maximum efficiency through training. These principles ensure that both workers and management work together toward a common goal of productivity and efficiency. This principle focuses on replacing guesswork with scientific analysis. Instead of relying on experience, each task is studied in detail. Tasks are broken down into smaller steps to understand where time and effort are wasted. The most efficient method is then identified and standardized. For example, in a warehouse, arranging frequently used items closer can reduce time and effort. This ensures consistency and improves overall efficiency. This principle emphasizes harmony between workers and management. Earlier, conflicts were common due to mistrust and lack of communication. Taylor suggested building mutual trust and respect. When workers and management work together as a team, productivity improves. For example, involving employees in decision making increases their motivation and commitment. A positive work environment leads to better performance. This principle emphasizes harmony between workers and management. Earlier, conflicts were common due to mistrust and lack of communication. Taylor suggested building mutual trust and respect. When workers and management work together as a team, productivity improves. For example, involving employees in decision making increases their motivation and commitment. A positive work environment leads to better performance. This principle focuses on developing workers. Taylor emphasized selecting the right person for the right job based on skills and abilities. Workers should then be trained properly to perform tasks efficiently. For example, a worker with technical skills should be assigned tasks that match their abilities. Continuous training helps improve performance and productivity. This also increases job satisfaction and confidence among employees. Taylor introduced several techniques to implement scientific management. Time study measures how long a task takes to identify inefficiencies. Motion study focuses on reducing unnecessary movements. Standardization ensures that the same tools and methods are used across workers. The differential piece rate system rewards efficient workers with higher pay. These techniques help improve performance and productivity. Scientific management offers many advantages. It increases productivity by improving efficiency. It reduces costs by minimizing wastage of resources. Workers become more skilled through training and specialization. Standardization ensures consistency in operations. For example, companies like McDonald's use standardized processes to deliver consistent quality worldwide. This leads to higher profitability and better performance. Despite its benefits, scientific management has limitations. It focuses heavily on efficiency and often ignores human emotions and creativity. Work can become repetitive and monotonous, leading to dissatisfaction. Employees may feel like machines rather than individuals. There is also lack of flexibility in processes. As a result, workers may resist such systems. Modern management tries to balance efficiency with employee well-being. To conclude, scientific management laid the foundation for modern management practices. It introduced a scientific approach to improving efficiency and productivity. Many modern industries still use its principles in operations and process management. However, it is important to balance efficiency with human factors like motivation and creativity. Understanding this theory helps managers design better systems and improve organizational performance. Thank you. Do like, share, and subscribe the channel.